Welcome. Today's topic is phenylketonuria. So, phenylketonuria is basically a disorder of amino acid metabolism, which basically involves aromatic amino acids. Which are the aromatic amino acids? Like phenylalanine and tyrosine. Okay, so what happens is that first we are studying about the normal physiology of the aromatic amino acids. So there are two amino acids, phenylalanine and tyrosine. Phenylalanine is an essential amino acid, that is it needs to be supplemented in diet. It has to be taken through diet, whereas tyrosine is a non-essential amino acid. It is synthesized from the phenylalanine in the body itself, so it does not need to be taken through diet. If it taken is okay, but it is a non-essential amino acid. So in normal conditions, phenylalanine in the body is converted into tyrosine with the help of an enzyme, phenylalanine hydroxylase. For this enzyme to work, a cofactor is required, which is BH4 tetrahydrobiopterin. This BH4 is converted into BH2, which is dihydrobiopterin. Okay, so this is a cofactor. This again converted into BH4 with the help of an enzyme, dihydrobiopterin reductase, which in turn requires NADPH plus H plus. Okay, this is normal physiology. Thing to remember is that this is an irreversible process. That is, we can make phenylalanine to tyrosine. I mean, tyrosine can be made from phenylalanine, but tyrosine cannot be converted back to phenylalanine. So this is only a non-reversible reaction. Okay, this is a reversible reaction. I mean, BH2 is converted to BH4, and BH4 is formed by multi-step process from GTP. This is also important. We will see why. So now, what happened to tyrosine after it formed? Main functions are of tyrosine only. Phenylalanine itself is not very important for the body. Its importance is only that it's converted to tyrosine, and tyrosine is the main amino acid which is responsible for functions. Now, tyrosine can have two fate: catabolic fate or anabolic fate. Catabolic fate means it is broken down into products. Anabolic fate means it formed different products. Okay, so in catabolic fate, tyrosine can form various metabolites in between, and which finally results in glycogenic or ketogenic fate, means either glucose or ketones are formed. So this way is this pathway, catabolic pathway, is important because deficiency or defects in the enzymes of these can also result in various metabolic abnormalities. So first, tyrosine is converted into PHPP, para hydroxyphenyl pyruvate, with the enzyme tyrosine transaminase. Okay, similarly, PHPP converted to homogentisate. This is an important metabolite, you have to remember. And same way, homogentisate to methyl mello melyl acetoacetate, then fumarate acetoacetate, then fumarate acetoacetate. You can read and write. I'm not gonna repeat because it will be little boring. Okay, so you can see this. Okay, now for anabolic fate, tyrosine is converted into melanin, which is responsible for pigmentation, dopamine, which further converted into adrenaline and noradrenaline. These are the catecholamines. Now also tyrosine also converted to thyroxine. So these are the three main important functions of the tyrosine. Now about phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria is of basically two types, classical and non-classical. Basic pathology of phenylketonuria is that the phenylalanine is not able to convert to tyrosine. Okay, now there are different types like classical phenylketonuria, non-classical phenylketonuria, type 2 and type 3, and non-classical phenylketonuria type 4 and type 5. Okay, so we will learn this now. Okay, so what is abnormal in phenylketonuria? So first, if phenylketonuria is not converted to tyrosine because of the defect in the phenylalanine hydroxylase, this is called as classical phenylketonuria. Non-classical phenylketonuria occurs when there is defect or deficiency of enzyme dihydrobiopterin reductase, because of which the tetrahydrobiopterin is not replenished and BH2 is increased. If the cofactor is decreased, this reaction is not possible. This reaction is not possible, and hence the amount of phenylalanine increases and tyrosine decreases. Also, there is another non-classical type in which there is defect in the formation of BH4 itself. BH4 decreases, so this reaction doesn't proceed in forward direction. So these are the all the types of phenylketonuria. Now, other metabolic defects related to this cycle we can discuss here only, like alkaptonuria. If there is deficiency of enzyme homogentisate oxidase, there is increased homogentisate and decreased methyl melanin CoA, which is called as alkaptonuria. Also tyrosinemia. Tyrosinemia occur when there is increased tyrosine in the body, like opposite of the phenylketonuria. It occurs if any of these enzymes in the pathway is defective or absent. Okay, so tyrosinemia is of three types: 1, 2, and 3. One occurs when there is deficiency of this FAA hydrolase. Two occur when there is deficiency of enzyme tyrosine aminase, this first one, and third when PHPP hydroxylase is defective. Okay, this Vichara doesn't have any disorder associated with it. Okay, so these are the defects of this pathway. Now, what are the symptoms of phenylketonuria? Let's see. If phenylalanine is increased and tyrosine is decreased, what happens? First, when tyrosine is decreased, okay, tyrosine is decreasing. Okay, this cycle is also decreased and anabolic fate also decrease. So decrease melanin, hypopigmentation. Decrease catecholamines enzyme, mental retardation, intellectual disabilities. Okay, decrease in thyroxine, hypothyroidism. Also, phenylalanine increased. Because of increase in phenylalanine is converted into phenylketones. Phenylketones accumulate in the body tissues and like it excreted in urine and sweat, and it gives its musty odor. Musty odor is there in the urine also, and also these phenylketones are like phenyl acetate, phenyl lactate, and phenyl pyruvate. So these are the all which are which get concentrated in the body. Okay. So to summarize, what are the clinical features of phenylketonuria? If there is an increase in phenylalanine, leads to increase in phenylketones, which are phenyl acetate, phenyl lactate, and phenyl pyruvate. Because of phenyl acetate, patient has musty body odor. Okay, because of increased phenylalanine compete with tyrosine and prevent its entry into brain and cause intractable vomiting. Because of decrease in tyrosine, there is decrease in melanin, which leads to blonde baby blue eyes, hypopigmentation, and fairer skin. It is different from the skin in the disease in which albinism. Yes, because there is still some phenylalanine which can convert into tyrosine and responsible for a lighter skin tone, but not that much lighter like in albinism. Okay, because of decrease in catecholamines there is neurological deficits, agitations. Because of decrease in thyroxine there is hypothyroidism. Now these are all the clinical features. Now we'll study about the test about for phenylketonuria. Okay, so basically it will be a small child presented maybe as vomiting, neurological deficits, growth retardation, etc. We have to work up the patient. Okay, so now tests are Guethra's test, ferrichloride test, and tender mass spectrometry. Okay, so these are the test. Treatment, it involves restriction of the phenylalanine and supplementation of tyrosine. This is basic, and there's a name cassava diet, so I just included in it. I don't know in detail what this is, but it is there. Also, patient need to avoid the food rich in phenylalanine, example like aspartame, which is an artificial sweetener. And there's another type of treatment which is under trial, which is enzyme replacement therapy with phenylalanine amino lyase. Okay, so this is about phenylketonuria. Thank you.